Welcome back to more karting action in the UK karting series. This is round 7 from Clay Pigeon in Dorchester, the home of champions, including the former F1 world champion Jenson Button, who started his motorsport journey right here at the circuit as an 8-year-old. The race action will be coming at you thick and fast, starting with the class for some of the youngest drivers in the sport, racing in the popular Honda 200 class. Before we got underway with the racing though, I caught up with a young man who's been on fire in this class this season. He leads the championship into round 7, and I was particularly keen to find out about his racing experiences so far, not least because this is his rookie season as an owner-driver in the sport.
My name is Margiris Koveckis, I'm 10, I'm number 15 from Lithuania, and I race in Hondas.
Margiris, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I understand this kart here, which is your own kart, this is the first season you're racing as an owner-driver effectively in this class, and you're leading the championship as well. So tell us a little bit about your history. When did you start?
So I started karting in rentals when I was about 8. I raced in rentals for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, and then we decided to make the switch to owners, and it's gone pretty well since, seeing as I'm first with quite a big gap.
And tell us a little bit about your ambitions moving forward. What's your big ambition?
So, short term, I hope to win most championships I enter. Long term, I hope to be an F1 driver.
Of course, as everybody does. Okay, well listen, good luck this weekend. We've seen you winning already in this championship this season. You're leading the championship. I'm expecting big things from you this weekend. Good luck.
Hope I'll deliver.
His dad sells jacket potatoes, would you believe, for a living. He's going to have to sell millions of them to get him into Formula One. But Jake, that is one smart young man in more ways than one.
Certainly is. Koveckis from pole position, then alongside Charlie White, Ashton Horspool and Nikita Roberts. She'll do a good job from the second row, I'm sure. Aaron Berridge and Lorenzo Martin, then Hendricks Bennett and Finley Thursfield. Rounding out the top 10, it's young Henry Colborne alongside Bradley Sutton in the 53 kart. Plenty of great talents in that top 10, and there's plenty more besides as well behind them on this standing start Honda Cadet grid. It's only the Honda Cadets that do a standing start as well. So it'll be an interesting one. Alistair Saunders and Ethan Pearson on the 6th row of the grid then from Rowan Marshall and Felix Barry. And then Austin Dowell and Seth Wright will complete the field. 16 karts, and as we've said already, Honda Cadets are a standing start. This is the only thing really that compares the British karting world to Formula One in the sense of the starting procedure being the same.
Man with the red flag is just letting everybody know. Oh, and that looks like Austin Dowell's just run into the cart in front of him.
Oh dear.
Now, if that's caused a drop-down problem with his bumper...
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it?
Oh, there you go.
And it has.
It
Look,
has.
5-second penalty coming the way. Now, that can't be reset before the start of the race. He's got to go into the race with that.
He's never going to get that reset, and I'm assuming that's his dad trying to fix it. He's not fixed it. That is automatically a 5-second penalty before he even starts the race. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's devastating, but unfortunately karting is all about learning. Off we go. Charlie White trying to out-drag Margiris Koveckis off the line, but Koveckis is going to have the inside line for the hairpin. Very nicely done. As they work their way through the chicane then on the first lap, it is the Lithuanian Margiris Koveckis that leads the way in front of Charlie White. Horspool's made a reasonable start, but it's the young man from Plymouth, Charlie White, who is giving chase, and he's already putting in a bit of a showcase. There was a spin there in the middle of the gaggle behind, so a couple of drivers out of sorts, and it looked as though we had 1 or 2 running wide, and as a result of that, we've now got the top 3 well away and clear, as Ashton Horspool is now giving chase to Koveckis and White, and these 3 are already getting well clear of the rest of the field. Is that Aaron Berridge having worked his way further forward, side by side, up to the first corner? Well, Nikita Roberts has got through past Lorenzo Martin, so Roberts, 633 Squadron, eat your heart out, because Nikita Roberts doing a great job there, and then losing that 4th position immediately to Lorenzo Martin. So the battle for 4th position is raging nice and early with Hendricks Bennett lining up a bit. Oh, that's a spin. Aaron Berridge, I think. No. Berridge has gone off. No, it's Thursfield.
Thursfield. Yeah, Thursfield spun out there. Now, I couldn't quite see if he had some contact from behind, but he's certainly off, and it's a long day back from there.
Well, that's so unfortunate because Thursfield had crossed the line in P9 and had worked his way through to 7th prior to the spin at Hans. So that's a big, devastating end to what was looking into quite a prosperous race for him. Roberts in P4, Martin, Bennett, Aaron Berridge is now back into 7th position as a result of that. Then Colborne, then Ethan Pearson is 9th, and then Rowan Marshall in the top 10. Now Roberts is starting to pull away from the challenging drivers behind, and there is poor Finley Thursfield having to sit and wait to get started again as the whole field storms by.
Yeah, race leaders here. Charlie White in the white helmet, easy to spot. He set the fastest lap at the end of the last tour. He come through the final turn, and these two already gapping Ashton Horspool. And then you've got Nikita Roberts now into 4th place. So Nikita from Poole in Dorset, so she'll have done a lot of laps around here, you would think, Jake.
Yes, a very difficult race battle becoming between the two leaders up front. Margiris Koveckis and Charlie White. Yellow flags there at the Hans hairpin, so clearly Finley Thursfield not able to get under starter's orders the way he would have liked to, and they're now having to move his kart away from that part of the course. That's why we're under yellows. It should be removed going into the next racing lap. But Nikita Roberts is actually starting to chip away a little bit now at Ashton Horspool in 3rd place. She's got a bit of time to make up, it has to be said, because of the way the top 3 pulled clear, but she's dropped the 5th place battle between Hendrix Bennett and Lorenzo Martin. Look, that gap is widening big time. Yeah,
and you can see her eyes are lighting up with the chance of being on a podium again at the UK Kart Series. This is the battle for 6th.
40.333 for Nikita Roberts. She's going 0.3 of a second quicker than Horspool in front of her, so that's really going to decrease the gap pretty rapidly.
Look at this battle for 6th. Berridge, Martin, Colborne, Pearson and Rowan Marshall all in that mix.
Alistair Saunders is nearly on the back of that toe as well, so this could be a 6-kart squabble. Here comes Martin, trying again now to get through on Aaron Berridge. He's run as high as 4th in this race, so he does not want to be sat there in P7. Another opportunity coming in behind from Henry Colborne as well. So Colborne is going to try and get onto the tail of these two as they storm through the flat-out left-hander just after the finish line. It's a very unusual circuit, this clay pigeon. It's quite short and quite rapid. This is where Jenson Button cut his teeth before he got into the world of Formula One racing, of course, and it's a very difficult circuit. It really does separate the weak from the strong.
Yeah, very technical. Just 900 metres. It looks a lot longer than that, I have to say.
Oh, that's Colborne!
Oh.
Colborne's had a mechanical by the look of it.
Very unusual in this class with a Honda engine, Jake.
Yeah,
very,
indeed.
very unusual indeed. But that definitely looks like a mechanical because he's just got his kart in the middle here on the grass in the centre of the track here.
Oh, here's the chance. White on the inside of Koveckis. He's going to get the move and he takes the lead. So beautifully done from the young man from Plymouth. Not a million miles away from here, of course. One of his more local circuits. It's not quite local being here in Dorset, but it's certainly much easier travel for him from Plymouth than some of the other race circuits in the country. But Margiris Koveckis is really going to have to work hard here to get back on terms with Charlie White. Charlie's been building up to this move, and now he's looking very smooth.
And Horspool looked like he closed the gap there as they started battling. Horspool, though, looking over his shoulder.
Yeah,
you should look over his shoulder because that young lady there, Nikita Roberts, is coming. She's coming with a wet sail. No doubt she fancies the job here.
Yeah, Nikita Roberts has definitely proven herself to be one of the stars of Honda Cadet 200 in the UK Kart Series so far this 2024 campaign, and is definitely knocking on the door of some big victories. A little bit difficult through the weekend so far, but there's time and there's opportunity to catch up to these three. She's definitely eating up the road in front of Ashton Horspool, but Charlie White and Margiris Koveckis, if they keep squabbling, anything's possible.
Well, she's faster than anybody else on the track on the last tour.
Yeah,
That wasn't her fastest lap, but she was faster than everybody in front of her.
So much confidence at pit bend. She's just able to slam it straight flat to the floor and just guide the kart in through. The front end doesn't look too loose. This is what happened earlier on. Seth Wright losing the kart up in the second corner and somehow getting going again.
The man from Doncaster, that's a long way from Doncaster to come down to Clay Pigeon here in Dorchester, and that's not the way you want your final to end up.
So it's an interesting challenge so far. That's Aaron Berridge that there is at the front of this little queue. Then Lorenzo Martin Ethan Pearson tucked in behind him, and then Rowan Marshall giving chase. So that's Aaron Berridge having worked his way through into 6th position then, past Lorenzo Martin. This 6th place squabble is not letting up, is it? If anything, it's intensifying between Berridge, Martin, Pearson and Marshall. Alistair Saunders dropping back a little bit. Look how close Roberts has got to Horspool now. It's definitely looking like it could be a 2x2 hurrah battle. But Koveckis is being very tactical here. He's not over-driving, tucked up behind Charlie White. He's just letting Charlie do all the hard work. He's letting him eat up the road. He's letting him put all the pressure on. And he's just sat there waiting, biding his time.
Horspool right now should be hearing the Jaws music in his helmet, because here she comes.
Never mind that. It should be the Battle of Britain music with that livery, shouldn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Goddamn busters, very nearly. Right, here comes Margiris Koveckis, swarming around to the right, to the left, hopping over those curbs, trying to find a move. Is Hans Hairpin going to be the corner of choice? Still a little bit of time left in this one, so he doesn't want to go ugly early.
This is that battle for 6th place again, I think, Jake.
That's Martin in front now, so Martin has got back in front of Berridge. So that has swapped positions again, and they're side by side once more. Ethan Pearson is going to have eyes wider than his stomach at this point, so this is going to be an interesting one for him. He just needs to play hungry in 8th position while those two duel away. Across the line one more time. White, Koveckis, Horspool, Roberts, he's absolutely charging. Another 3/10 taken out of Horspool.
Fastest lap for Nikita Roberts there, highlighted in purple. This is a battle for 6.
This is going to be an unbelievable move from Berridge. Absolutely storms in round the outside of turn 1, held his nerve on the marbles. A relentless Honda Cadet battle here at Clay Pigeon between Aaron Berridge and Lorenzo Martin, and after pulling off that cheeky overtake around the outside of turn 1 to finish the job off in the right-hander, that is brave stuff from Aaron Berridge, who was basically flirting on the marbles there. It's very easy to lose the kart when you're at that speed on that exertion, but he just decided, no, the only way I'm going to get him is to try something different, go for something original, and that's exactly what he's pulled off. Now he runs wide, and it's going to be wheel to wheel. They bang wheels once, twice down the straight, and somehow Aaron Berridge is able to hang on. That was boxing gloves, never mind kart racing.
That could have gone pear-shaped up into the hairpin. Again, the leaders, Nikita Berridge here, right in the mix as well, for looking for a podium. It would be her 2nd of the season, came 2nd of course at Shannington in our first coverage of the UK Kart Series earlier in the year, and she's looking pretty good here too. Back marker in the way, Jake.
Yeah, that could be a little bit timely, not just for Charlie White in the lead of the race, but also for Ashton Horspool, who's got to be very careful, because Nikita Roberts, right there in 4th position, can take full advantage of the fact that there is a slower kart in front. Oh, she's going to do it before they even get there. Dives in, 3rd position, lovely move from Nikita Roberts, now in 3rd position, and of course, in the box seat if anything happens between the two leaders.
Exactly, and of course, at the end of the last tour, set the fastest lap yet again. She's on fire this weekend, but she is, as I said before, she is from Poole in Dorset, so she will have done a lot of racing round here.
The back marker pinching the leaders a little bit there. Good now, driving. If Nikita Roberts is able to keep her foot in, she might be able to gain a good half second or so, just in terms of momentum, which could be what makes the difference. She's now in 3rd position, still going quicker than the two leaders, but she's been pinched by the back marker as well. She manages to get through on the exit, but that will have cost a couple of tenths.
But she is a bit closer to the leaders. This is going to be interesting boiling up here. It's going down to the wire. She's got, what, 12, 15 kart lengths to make up. I think that's too much with what's left in this race. But she's gapped Horspool already, Jake.
She has gapped Horspool already. Well, she's got a bit too much to do unless these two start going for the victory. And of course, this is the final, so they will both be wanting it more than any other of the heats over the course of the weekend so far. Here we go, flying through into the last lap we go. Koveckis is going to open up the taps. There's not a lot of room to play with, and he's just found the gap. Oh, that was so tough to pull off for Koveckis. But the Lithuanian youngster has managed to make it work. Now he's got to go on the defensive. but he's also got to leave enough space for Charlie White to still play. Nikita Roberts is doing everything she can to eat up the gap in the hope that there might just be a second in the offing potentially, but I don't think she's going to have the opportunity. This is great work from Charlie White to try and kick back in there, but Koveckis is going to hold this. He'll keep the cart wide enough that even if they cross the line side by side, he'll just have it. Koveckis takes the win in the final by fractions. Nikita Roberts drives beautifully to bounce back to third behind Charlie White. That is a very good podium and one of the best Honda Cadet finals we've seen for a long time. Aaron Berridge, though, take a bow. That move at turn one, practically on the marbles to get the move up into sixth past Lorenzo Martin. Definitely worth a pat on the back or two. Excellent racing here at Clay Pigeon. So, after a very long and intense battle, a game of wits and a game of chess at over 80 kilometers an hour for the majority of the race, it is Margiris Koveckis that gets ahead of Charlie White. Nikita Roberts closes them into within a second. Ashton Horsfall P4 ahead of Hendrix Bennett. Then Aaron Berridge holding off Lorenzo Martin, Ethan Pearson, Rowan Marshall, who made up 4 places, as did Ethan Pearson, with Alistair Saunders rounding out the top 10. In the championship standings, that means that Koveckis now has a lead over Ashton Horsfall. Aaron Berridge still there in third position from Henry Colborne, Rocco Geraghty, who was absent this time, and Charlie White just squeezing a point ahead of Lorenzo Martin. Nikita Roberts is climbing the table, knocking on the door of the top 6 if her consistency continues as it is.